happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. Today we got a fun unboxing slash review of the Big Bass Bundle from Bass Pro. Now, funny story behind this. I was on Bass Pro, ordered some new knee-high rubber boots because my other ones have a hole in them after a couple of years they lasted. But I saw this. Now, the story behind it is I clicked on it, looked at the lures, and I thought, yeah, it's got some cool stuff in it. But I noticed the reviews, so I gandered down and took a look. First one, 5-star, made sense. Second one, 5-star, makes sense. This third one, a 2-star. So somebody known as FAD44 said, not worth the money at all. Apparently it also wasn't worth the time to use spell check. Goes on to say that the quality is not worth the price, cheap lures, yada, 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 but also says you're better off buying the Guggen Mondo box. Also no spell check. The part that I was laughing at, though, on the bottom, it was both yes and no, were 4 votes for helpful. Since then, somebody else has voted no. That was not me. And I was laughing after reading that because what 4 people voted that is a helpful review? Anyway, we're going to play some Mythbusters today, take a look at the Big Bass Bundle, and see if this really is worth it or not. And I'm going to give this bundle away at the end, so you'll want to make sure to stay to the end to find out how you get entered. But anyway, enough yapping. Let's take a closer look. All right, let's see. What is the first thing we got in this box? Okay, so I did kind of briefly look through it, and I am going to be adding a couple other things because when I give this away, I think there's a couple extra goodies that would be nice. First up, we got the old stick-o-worm, green pumpkin, 5 3/8 inch, and this is a 16-pack. Awesome stick baits. I think one of the best bangs for the buck out there on the market. This one's just a little bit bigger than the regular 5-inch, a little bit more weight. It'll cast easy. I really like their stick baits, so I think that is a great add, especially getting 16 of them. Next up, we have a little tungsten jig. I've never seen these jigs. I don't know that I've really ever used any of the Bass Pro jigs, but this is just a little tiny guy. You can see there it's a 1/4 ounce in the peanut butter and jelly color. I mean, I think that's a good lure, especially giving you a little tungsten head. Looks to have a pretty light weed guard. Hook looks nice and sharp. I think that's a pretty good grab for the box, along with the old Senkos. We've also got a rod sock. Not much to say about this. I can see, if you can see down in there, it does have the elastic and the strap that hooks onto the holder. This is a Walmart one, but same idea. Once you run this down the rod, this elastic piece hooks over the handle on your reel and keeps it held on there. So I really like the rod socks that have that. That way, you know, when you hook it on there and you're moving it in and out of your car or boat or whatever, this isn't going to slide off. I've got some that don't have this, and they do tend to kind of slip and slide around. So, okay, the Kermie frog. I'll be honest, I had a couple of these, used them, and I was not a fan at all. So I will agree with the 2-star rating on the Kermie frogs. I'm not a fan. I know a lot of people that have used them and like them, but I would rather just grab a Spro kind of as my all-around frog color. This is almost like the Freak color. The Spro Freak is my favorite, but I would rather grab one of those. I was not a huge fan of this, but again, I know some people did like those. Hey, speaking of Googie, they said get the Guggen Mondo box, and I have nothing against the old Guggens, but I feel like the rating that that individual gave on the 2-star was not quite deserved on this. So these are the Guggen craws. They're cool looking craws. I have nothing against these. I think I had a pack of them, used them. You know, kind of reminds me of like the Rage Craw, Strike King Rage Craw type deal. It's got the little, if you can see there, the little flanges right on the edge of the claw. So nothing wrong with those. I like that. This is kind of like the Canadian craw color, whatever they call it. Oh, California craw. That's what I meant. Yeah, I like that watermelon-y and then like a darker green watermelon kind of color with the red flake. All right, what else do we have in here? The hooks. Now, when I looked at these, I thought, well, I don't know that I've ever seen that like style hook. And then they give you 25 of these wacky worm hooks, size 2. When I initially opened up the box, I thought these look like absolute garbage. However, they're a good light wire hook, and the big thing that surprised me is they are super sticky sharp, very sharp little hooks. I think a perfect size for, like throwing a wacky rig on, a Nico rig on, and there's another tool that'll help you do that. So I thought those were good. Same thing when I checked out the EWGs. They're not a super heavy wire, but I did check, and they are all very sharp. It says it's a 4/0. They look a little bit small to be a 4/0, but I guess they must be. Only a 5-pack of them, but I've definitely seen worse hooks on the market. They will work. Okay, a couple crankbaits in here now. Anybody that says this is not worth a 5-star, I mean, when people talk about lipless, red eye shad is always in, the top 2 or 3 for people. I think this is the chili craw color. I don't know. It doesn't say. Anyway, I think that's the chili craw color. Great, going to be coming up for this spring. That red kind of orange belly. Absolute awesome. Always love a red eye shad. Then from Berkeley, the Squirble 5.5. I like their square bills. I have used these. That's in kind of a sexy shad color. What do they call this? Oh, not just sexy, but sexier. Yeah, good color. I like the sexy shad color. Works well around here. It's got the chartreuse belly and tells you what it is there in case you were to forget. But yeah, I like those, and I do have to apologize to Berkley. The first time I ever got any of these Fusion hooks, you can see that's their hooks that they put on. I thought they were going to be light wire. I said they looked a little bit too light and junky. They're super sharp, and I have not had an issue with any of them yet, so I owe Berkley an apology. The Fusion hooks are pretty damn nice. Okay, now they also gave us a couple rolls of line. Now, I had some Bass Pro line that I thought was not good. I don't remember if it was the XL or not. I had breaking issues with it. I know other people have said that, I don't know if it's this one or the other one, but apparently I think Seaguar makes the line for them and they just put their own branding on it. I don't know if that's true or not. As long as this holds up as, you know, good solid fishing line, this is not fluorocarbon, you know, just pointing that out. This is monofilament, but just talking in general about the Bass Pro line. So I don't know if this is their own stuff. Doesn't say anything about being made on here by Seaguar or anything. So they give you 8 and 12. You know, that's perfect if you want to load up a rod with some 12-pound for your, you know, lipless or something, or use these as like a leader. That's what I would use the 8-pound for. So they give you some options there. And they didn't skimp. It's not like it's a 50-yard thing. Both of these are 200-yard spools. So, you know, as a beginner, at least you got some line in there. There is a wacky tool, which there's really not any difference between any of these. I think some are plastic. This is a metal one. I think that's really the only difference I've seen in any of these. It's got a little screw on the top. That's what holds all your O-rings, and then just tells you about it on the back. But I like those. I always carry a couple. I put those on my wacky rig or my Nico rig. They work a lot. So that's also a good grab in there. Now, last up in the box, they give you a pair of pliers. Now, no, these aren't the most expensive pliers out there, but they are nickel-plated steel. They're the 6-inch pliers. They've got the cutters. I honestly never use the cutters on these. I keep a pair of side cutters in there for larger hooks and stuff. But it's got the long nose on it. You know, you can get it down in the mouth of a bass. You know, the handles are just regular rubber handles. So overall, with the way the box it is, I think it says like a $70 value. Regular price is $39. That's what I bought it for on there. I think out of everything in here, I think Bass Pro did a pretty darn good job. Now, there's a couple things I would add. Well, for number one, I think they should have thrown a chatterbait in there. Awesome for beginner. You throw it out, you wind it. Works in ponds, small lakes. This is a bluegill color. This is the custom. Usually you can only get these on Tackle Warehouse, but I'm going to throw one of those in because a chatterbait for a new beginner with a box like this, perfect. Next up, staying with the whole Bass Pro theme, I also bought some of these baby stickos. I had never seen these before. I don't know how new they are, but folks could use this as a little Ned rig on its own. Can see here I rigged one up with a little EWG hook on it. As a little Ned rig, looks pretty dang cool, like a TRD mixed with like the TRD craw thing going on there. You could use this as a little jig trailer, which brings me to some of the homemade Debo customs. Gotta have some finesse jigs in there if you're you know, a bank angler. These are all 5/16 ounce. Got some black with purple, black and blue, and a green pumpkin I'll throw in there. Those are all homemade by moi. Another trailer option, one of my favorites, you can throw this on a chatterbait, like the little mini chatterbait mini max. This looks really good on, you know, jigs, whatever. This fried melon color works really nice because it's got kind of a darker green pumpkin side, but yet the legs are kind of a little bit see-through. So should work in most watercolors. And finally, I think they need to throw a spinnerbait in there. This is the 5/16 ounce Finesse Strike King spinnerbait. I really like these. I think they're like, I don't know, $7. They come with a wire tied skirt on, good components. I have liked these so far. So that's what I'm throwing in there. But comment below and let me know what you think. All of this all together, is that a pretty good deal? And also let me know if that was a little bit more helpful than FAD 44's review, which I still don't know how there were 4 that said that was helpful. But anyway, hopefully this is a little bit more helpful to you. You can actually see what's in there. I think they did a pretty good job of putting the box together. If it's worth $39 at that, you know, if they don't put it on sale, I still think that's a pretty good deal. I think you're still getting a few lures in there for free if you were to price it out and buy it on your own. So those are my thoughts. There it is, the season to be giving. So all you have to do is comment below and you will win this whole box. Everything that I showed in the video, I will send it out to one lucky subscribed fishing friend. Now, as with my giveaways, if you haven't noticed, when I pick the comment below, I will pin it as the top comment there. Contact that person. Don't be texting any numbers. There's still these scammer jerks going around, so you don't have to pay me to win any of my giveaways, and you don't have to text me, so just heads up. Now for the subscribe fishing friend of the day, we've got Josh B. He said he liked the bin test. So this was from my recent video. I did a review on the new Monster Bass rod. Check it out if you haven't watched it. But he liked that and wanted to see me doing some reviews of some other rods, kind of some brands compared together. And I know I want to do an updated version of the power versus action, kind of all that for beginner rods, because it can be very confusing. So I want to go everything from like, you know, a 30-ton blank, what does that mean? Grips, guides, kind of give an overall view of all that in case you're looking at rods to maybe help you get a better educated guess when you're looking at some of these, right? So anyway, that's enough for me. I got to edit. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time.